everyone, so I'm here today to chat with you about some things I've got from The Ordinary, to give you a little bit of an update on the things I've been trying and some of the new things I've repurchased and basically how I've been getting on. Two things to note first is that I did order the glycolic toning solution, which hasn't arrived yet. It was one that you could only pre-order, but then I've seen other people receive theirs and I haven't received mine yet, so I need to chase that up. Second thing is that the vitamin C, which I showed in my previous Ordinary video, and I kind of did a little kind of update of it on the products I'm testing right now video, I have gotten rid of that because I just never used it because I couldn't stand the texture of it. The texture just grossed me out so much, like the little graininess of it. I couldn't get on board with the texture, so I stopped using that. And the third thing is the Ordinary foundations. No, I haven't ordered any. There's so much kind of stuff going on about them at the moment, and you know, so they're so backlogged and how many units they've made and all of that kind of thing. I'm just going to wait for that to die down and then order them because I can't be bothered with all of that. So that's a little disclaimer first of all. But what I've got here to talk to you about, so the Advanced Retinol 2%, the azelaic acid, let me put some down here, the alpha arbutane 2% plus HA, the niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%, and the lactic acid 10% plus HA 2%, and the AHA 30% plus BHA 2% peeling solution. So I did mention that the retinol, I've used this kind of once or twice a week since I've got it, which was probably a couple of months ago now. And I nearly dropped it, but I caught it. That was good, wasn't it? I don't think that this is particularly strong, and I don't feel like it has an instant effect on my skin. Something like the Indeed Labs Retinol Reface, that did have a more immediate effect on my skin and just made everything kind of look better. I haven't really found it did anything for pigmentation or that kind of thing. I know that retinol very often is used for kind of fine lines and that kind of thing, so maybe it's just kind of my skin's not at that stage yet, but I do have a lot of pigmentation. If you're wondering what that weird noise was, if you could hear it, I've got one of those automatic air freshener things. That's what that was. Yeah, I can't say that this has blown my mind in any way, shape or form, if I'm honest. It's okay, the texture's nice, it didn't cause me any dryness, which is a plus point, but I personally don't find retinol to ever cause me dryness with any retinol that I've used, so that's worth a mention. The azelaic acid suspension 10%, this was really nice. When I first started using it, if you've got oily skin, you'll love the texture of it because it's almost like a dry texture. And I did feel like it made my skin look a little bit more glowy, but the results were pretty short-lived, and after about a week of using it, I didn't feel like the results were quite the same anymore. But I am going to keep this in my routine and kind of see how I'm getting on. And that's one thing I want to mention too, is that everything I'm telling you about in this video, you know, it's an update. It's not my kind of final review because it's skincare, but a lot of you have been asking me to talk about how I've been getting on, so I wanted to do it. One thing that I do think you can kind of make a immediate review of is the peeling solution. Now you can see here it's red and it goes on your face and you look like an extra from True Blood, but this causes me severe dryness, and I have got the world's oiliest skin, but this causes me major dry skin. I've had to kind of put my makeup on today over it, and you can't really tell, but all on my cheeks I've got little kind of weird dry skin where it's actually flaking off. This is very strong. If you've got very sensitive skin, stay well clear. I've used it twice now, and after both times I've had that horrible kind of dryness in the centre of my face, so I don't know if I will use it again. I might give it a few more goes, but the twice I've used this, I've then spent the whole week playing catch up, trying to get my skin back to normal because of all the flakiness. And it's not flakiness that like after it's gone your skin looks 10 times better, it's just a bit flaky and kind of not, I don't know, I don't really think that it's kind of made my skin all glowy and amazing after the flakiness subsides. The alpha arbutin, this is supposed to be really good if you suffer from pigmentation, which I really do. But I've yet to see any improvement. Like I said, I will continue to use it because it hasn't been that long. However, I have noticed that I've got a little bit more pigmentation that has come out, which I've never ever had before, and it's not to do with any kind of sun damage because I religiously wear sunscreen. That's just on the top of my cheek a little bit here, which is really annoying because it's like, you know, not only am I trying to get rid of the 2 patches I've got on my cheeks, but now I've got more forming. Could it be more irritating? Which I'm not sure if kind of using so many active ingredients has caused that, and it is very kind of subtle, but it's just here. You won't be able to see it once I've got makeup on, but without makeup it is obvious. And since I've been using a lot of these products, especially I've noticed since I used the peeling solution, I have got a massive spot on my cheek in a place where I never get spots normally, so that one I'm not sure. But the alpha arbutin, like I said, I haven't seen any results as of yet. It's a nice texture, doesn't really smell like anything, and I'll continue to use it and let you know. The niacinamide, which is for kind of enlarged pores, oiliness, blemishes, that is very, very drying, and I was really hoping that it would help with oil control, but I'm a little bit skeptical as to its abilities to do that without really, really drying your skin out. And as much as oily skin's really annoying, I also don't particularly want dry, flaky patches on my skin either. So I've been using this in the morning, but now that I've got that horrible dry reaction from the BHA peeling solution, I've backed off it, and I'll kind of reintroduce it a little bit later on down the line, I think. And then last but not least, we have the lactic acid. This again was really nice. The smell of this, I know this is a really picky thing, but I don't like the smell of it. It smells like kind of burnt sugar or something. I liked the smell at first, but now I think it's a bit... This is nice. It does give your skin kind of a little bit of glow. I've been using it in the evening, and combining that with the alpha arbutin and then maybe the retinol once or twice a week, or the azelaic acid once or twice a week, but it's just not really been making my skin look better. And I think ever since I've introduced all of these different things, I don't know if it's a case of your skin needs to get worse before it gets better. I don't think it is, because every other review I've seen that people have talked about, they all kind of immediately fall in love with everything. And there's been hardly any kind of not great reviews, but in all honesty, like I said at the beginning, I haven't been wowed by any of these at all. So, I mean, make of that what you will. I am going to persevere, and I do feel like I need to kind of find a balance of using them, but I had been using the niacinamide in the morning, like I said, and then I felt like it was a bit dry. The azelaic acid I didn't feel was very nice on the makeup because it was a bit itchy. It was more of an evening situation, and maybe that's not enough. I don't know. I haven't been wowed by anything, which I'm gutted about, because I love the ethos of the brand. I love how affordable everything is. I even really like the packaging of everything. I think the packaging's really, really nice, but I've just not really seen any results. So I want you to let me know down below all of your experiences with everything you've used, recommendations. I haven't tried the hyaluronic acid because my skin's just so oily that I didn't really think that it would kind of benefit me particularly, and it's not particularly like dehydrated either, especially not at the moment when it's warm. So I really, really want to know your recommendations and your routines and just any information that you've got, because maybe it is just me and maybe I need a little bit of help, or I don't know what. And if you haven't been getting on with them, please let me know as well. I want us to all have a discussion in the comments about everything down below, because I want to get on board, but I'm struggling. So yeah, please let me know all your thoughts down below, and I'll see you next time.